This is Sebastian Martinez for Fight Club Rush here with Toni Lampinen, who faces Andreas Bane Gustafsson in the main event of FCR 16. And how does that sound? Kicking things off here, a big main event on UFC Fight Pass in front of what seems to be a fantastic crowd.
It's a great opportunity for me, first time in Sweden, and I think it's going to be a great show.
Well, I mean, it's been building up a lot of momentum, and the Finns have started making some waves. We had Patrik Pitala score a big win last time out in Stockholm, and now you're facing off against Andreas Gustafsson, who is one of the big local stars here. He always brings a lot of fans with him. How much do you know about Gustafsson and his fighting style?
I've watched a few fights. I watched his last fight, and he's very aggressive. Greco-Roman wrestling background, and so he's going to be strong. Also, he's coming one weight class above me. So I'm going to avoid wrestling exchanges.
And as you mentioned, he's moving down a weight division. Nobody would say he's a small middleweight, but he's expected to be a gigantic welterweight. How do you expect to deal with that size difference?
Even though he might be bigger and stronger, it's going to, eat up his endurance. So he's going to be, I think he's not going to last 3 rounds. He's going to slow down.
And when he spoke a little bit earlier in the official FCR interview, he seemed to have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's usually pretty cool and calm, but it's almost like he's coming into this fight with a little bit of anger, and he's talked a little bit about, he wants to take you down and rip your head off. And he's usually not, he's usually a bit more soft-spoken than that. Have you seen some of the stuff he said, and what do you make of it?
Yeah, I saw some of the stuff. I think it's his style to promote the fight. Maybe he's a little angry, but I don't think, it's not going to favor him, that's for sure.
And he's coming off of a close loss to Jolton Lutterbach, who is, a fantastic, one of the most underrated guys in Europe. He personally feels that he won that fight. Have you seen it? Is that a fight that you saw, and what did you make of it?
Yeah, I saw the fight. I think he lost the first 2 rounds. I think he got the last one, but just because, the opponent took a little gas off the pedal, so that's why he took the last round. But 2-1.
And as you mentioned, he's got a great Greco-Roman background, which is usually his biggest strength. His ground and pound is pretty well known. What do you think is the key to victory here? Is it just keeping it on the feet?
Yeah, definitely keeping it on the feet. If it gets to the ground, I have stuff there. I'm not worried, but I rather keep it on the standing.
And, there's been a bit of a rivalry in sports between Sweden and Finland, especially during hockey season. Does this add a little bit extra, especially considering some of his remarks about Finns, that, adds a little bit extra fire to it, Sweden versus Finland in a main event?
Just a little bit, yeah. But it's good. It's good. We had the hockey. We lost the Eurovision. We lost the final, so to Sweden. So we're going to take one back now.
Yeah, I even forgot about the Eurovision, but yeah, that was something that a lot of people were complaining about. How many Finnish fans do you expect to see in the arena on Saturday night?
I have no idea. Some people said that they will come, but we'll see.
And you were coming off of a fantastic win over Joachim Tollefsen, who is a good striker in his own right, but you really were a step ahead in pretty much every facet there. What are some of your main takeaways from that performance?
Just not much new. I just, more confidence in myself, what I can do. So that's going to take me far.
And as you mentioned, you think that Gustafsson's endurance might suffer because of a weight cut. How much do you expect each round to favor you? Say, like if first round maybe is 50-50, where do you see the second round and the third round, respectively?
The further it goes, it's going to be better for me. That's what I think.
And if you look in your crystal ball, what kind of finish to the fight do you see?
I think it's going to be a technical knockout or maybe a submission, guillotine, maybe.
Guillotine, maybe. Okay, and we're talking about the later rounds because he is a dangerous guy, but would it mean more for you to beat him early just to show that you can sort of take him on where he's at his strongest?
Kinda, yeah, but if it goes all 3 rounds, it's also good because then, it proves that I can go 3 rounds with a guy like him. It's also good. I don't really care. I just, first round, third round, as long as I get the finish, that's good.
Well, a Finn looking for the finish sounds quite poetic if you ask me. What's your final message for the fans tuning in, both here in Västerås and live all around the world on UFC Fight Pass? What can we expect from the main event of FCR 16?
It's going to be a well-rounded fight, and you should definitely tune in because it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, I could not agree anymore. Meetings in MMA between Sweden and Finland always deliver, especially when you have two top-notch competitors like Andreas Bain Gustafsson and Mr. Toni Lampinen leading the charge. So tune in, FCR 16, only on UFC Fight Pass. Thank you very much. Good luck in the fight.
Thank you.